methodology of how, look, that. And then they sniff. And then they lick. I didn't realize they lick. What is she doing? What is he doing? I didn't realize that was the whole animation. Hi, my name is Kobo and this is my channel where I mostly talk about paleomedia. Today's going to be a bit different. I've built this little showcase park where we'll take a look at the different species, their skins, their habitat requirements, and who they can live with in your parks. Before we do all that, I'd like to go into a little detail about our first animal, Plateosaurus. Plateosaurus is probably the single most common dinosaur in the late Triassic, known from over 40 localities in the Nourian-Nolan-Mergel mudstones of Central Europe. In addition, it is also one of the best-known Triassic dinosaurs due to the discovery of many complete skeletons. Sander, 1991, the Nourian Plateosaurus bone beds of Central Europe and their taphonomy. Plateosaurus is a sauropodomorph from the late Triassic of Europe. Sauropodomorph means that it's part of the larger group that contains sauropods but is not itself a sauropod. So it's not quite like the Brachys, Camaras, Argentinos, or the coming Brontos and Apatos that will be in game, but it is more closely related to them than anything else currently part of the roster. I wanted to show off these beautiful renditions of the Plateosaurus species, not only because they are rare in the paleo games I play, but because they are so fascinating and gorgeous. Plateosaurus gives us one of two Triassic animals in the game so far, which is exciting because Triassic animals can be neglected, though it's important to note that there are lots of cool Triassic animals that aren't dinos that get left out too. Currently, Jurassic World Evolution 2, Paleo Pines, and Let's Build a Zoo's Dinosaur Island DLC, along with Parkosaurus if you get the Sea Monsters DLC, have 4, 3, 5, and 3 Triassic non-dinos and dinos respectively that you can take care of or interact with, which is at least one more than PK currently has. Still, the realism and 3D models and skins we get here with our two Triassic animals, in my opinion, knocks the others out of the park. While the sheer diversity of the others is amazing, it's nice to see these animals so lifelike, walking around the habitats you built for them and watching the visitors get up close and personal. You can get a great sense of size while they drink, stretch, eat, and rest. Within the next year or so, we'll be able to watch them interact with enrichment like they do in Let's Build a Zoo, but as something closer to the fully dimensional creatures that existed in Triassic Europe. I love the other games and what they're doing with their respective corners, but this is the only Plateosaurus between these 5 games, and one of only 2 non-sauropod sauropodomorphs, the other being Amosaurus or Ankylosaurus, in Let's Build a Zoo. So, Plateosaurus comes in 2 species with 3 skins for the game. The smallest species is called Plateosaurus gracilis, and you can see these are beautiful. I love these. The purple, the green, the red, the yellow, and these white underbellies. Beautiful sounds. They're so silly looking, but also adorable. Not silly looking. I don't know, I just love them. They carry their neck very different than a lot of the animals in game, even the longer necked ones, the non-sauropodomorph ones, because obviously they carry very different from the sauropods. The walking animation is a little funky because I've got a depression here, but they're just beautiful. They're beautiful. They've got this there's something avian about the way they chose this with the orange patch um, behind the eye, and then the red on the nose here, on the rostrum here, on the tip of the rostrum. It's great. I love them. So yeah, that's Plateosaurus gracilis. It just comes in this one skin, male and female. Oh, Milan is male. Male and female. Milan, we're going to. You can drink while you do that, right? You can see, they're about the same size. I think he's supposed to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, he's a little bit bigger, a little bit longer. But yeah, so gracilis. And then over here, we have our other two. Let's do the one that's... So this is the other species, Trosingensis. Adorable. And I just noticed the eye colors are even different between the species. I don't know if it's between the skins. We'll have to check that out. This is a much more plain, much less... what is that word? Stated? I don't know. There's still a subtle patterning, but it blends in a lot more. Goes down to the really deep red, almost black tip, and it's beautiful. A beautiful skin for a beautiful little creature. Just well, it's kind of big actually. And then she's gonna lay down in the water. But the other skin for the Trosingensis. And we can open up our nursery here, and I'll show you. There's gracilis. See, that's about the size of the male, size of the female. And then Trosingensis, female. Males are a little bit bigger. I don't have any males in there. We have females. So that's the lindworm skin, basilisk skin. The lindworm skin. Oh! Oh! She came out melanistic. I didn't realize that. Petra came out melanistic. Okay, so now I have questions. I have so many questions because I didn't realize that. I thought, oh, well, the skin is very different than I thought. Okay, I think, yeah. So the different species have different eye colors. It's not the skins, I don't think. Well, I don't know because she's melanistic over there, so I don't know. But that's a great and pleasant surprise. Okay, so, yeah, so they're beautiful animals. As you can see, you know, they're pretty big. They're pretty big animals. And I love them. I love that we have a non-sauropodomorph, sauropodomorph in the game. I love that we have two species of them, and we get this skin system that surprised the hell out of me. So yeah, if you want to look one more time at the lindworm skin, that's what it looks like when they aren't melanistic or some other larger variation. I don't know what other variations we'll have, but yeah, beautiful. I love them. They're great. So while we're here, why don't we get into the habitat requirements? Both species, I believe, of Plateosaurus, yes, both species of Plateosaurus need scrubland or grassland or desert. You can combine those in your habitats. They eat plants and insects. The things that differ between the two species are going to be forest requirements. Water is the same for both. Both are at 10% tops. Exhibit crowding is also the same. Okay. Some species I noticed have different exhibit crowding thresholds. Um, and then I didn't pay attention to temperature because it's not implemented yet. And fence strength for both is medium. Greater than, I think, 2.5? No, it is different. So for gracilis, it's greater than 1, which really just means 1 at this point. You just need 1 meter tall, which is 3 and whatever the hell, 3 feet, whatever inches. Um, and this is greater than 2.5. Yeah. Medium grade fence, 2.5 meters. And also, they have the suggested social groupings. So, 1 adult male and 2 to 6 adult females. I don't know if those exclude, like, if you have 2 to 6 adult females, will they be sad if you don't have an adult male, or will they not give a fuck? I don't know. I don't know yet. These things are not, this is not implemented yet, fully, as far as I'm aware. But this is handy. It gives you a calculation of how big of a exhibit size you need. Again, tells you the grade, what biomes you need, although they don't come up with what those are. You kind of have to memorize them or go over into your terraforming while you do this and click on those icons. Okay? Okay, this is where this is less helpful. So these actually have numbers in the nursery. So Trasiensis needs 10 to 30% forest, whereas I clicked on the same one. Whereas Gracilis needs 20 to 45%. So 10 to 30 versus 20 to 45%. Yeah, so that's just something to keep in mind, and also influences compatibility, which is what I want to talk about next. So, as you have seen, I have put them in a couple different habitats. Trasiensis in this habitat, this bigger habitat, which is a total of almost 1,700 square meters. It's pretty big, all things considered. And then I have the Gracilis in this smaller one, which is only 3,200, almost 3,200 square meters. So I do want to talk about compatibility and who's in here, who's not able to be put in here between the two of them. But I have to give you a disclaimer first. So, what we're talking about, what we're going to talk about, especially, is according to the latest build, which I'm recording at the end of July, which I think is like build 11 or update 11 or 12 or whatever it's been. So, not all of these things are fully implemented. This excludes, if I click on this guy here and we can watch him drink, this excludes the enrichment tab and, yeah, and the health tab. So what is under those tabs, I'm not entirely sure everything, but definitely, I thought I read that if you put the wrong foods into the habitat, even if you put the right foods and also the wrong foods, so like if I had insects and the plants, but I also had a meat feeder in here, they might not like that. That's something I thought I read. I don't know if that's fully going to be implemented. Remember, this is an early access game still. We are not quite to the full release. That will be sometime next year, probably. So, what I am about to tell you about compatibility is with that understanding that we don't have all of the things implemented, so this may change as we go into the future. I may either re-upload these with updates, or I will just do a quick little update video where I say, hey, I said in the other one that they could live with whoever, and they can't now because all of the stuff is fully implemented, so yeah, something to keep in mind. Okay, so that out of the way, that disclaimer out of the way, I also want to talk about how some of my methodology of how, look, that, and then they sniff, and then they lick. I didn't realize they lick. What is she doing? What is he doing? I didn't realize that was the whole animation. Or maybe it was a couple of animations. Oh my god, I have no idea. What I was talking about was when I'm doing the compatibility thing. I am going according to the I'm just gonna pick one. I'm going according to this suggested social grouping. Okay, I'm going according to this. I need at least one of, let's say, elasmotherium, but that's not relevant specifically. But I'm gonna put one in here and see what that does to the crowding bar right here. So what I did was, let's see, let's do our psittacos, and this is the Mongoliensis. This is the Mongoliensis. Okay, so I have the Mongoliensis. I went with the adult females because in challenge mode you can't do males at first, you can only do females. I went with adult females, and so I put 3 adult female psittacos in here of the Mongoliensis, and you can see the crowding bar has not gone up at all. We're fine. In addition to that, we have 2 Protoceratops, which also again is the minimum, the suggested social grouping. See, suggested, so 2 adult females, and so I didn't include an adult male. I don't know if they need that or not. So yeah, disclaimers. Just to be sure. And let's add in an adult male and see what that does. Okay, crowding went up. Crowding went up a little, right? So it may impact things in the future when they implement that. But if I do... Okay, let me look real quick at our psittacos, Mongoliensis. Oh, 2 to 3. So that's really going to impact things. So let's open our genetics, and we're going to do 2 of these guys. Okay, crowding went up, but we are still good. So with a minimum of our 5 pistachos, our 3 protoceratops, and our 2 Plateosaurus, which I think fits the, if I do the, oh, I can search according to the specific name. Oh, it's 2 to 6 adult females. It's 2 to 6. So it's not 1 to 1. So let's do that real quick. Let's breed another female and put her in here. Ah, see, now we've got a crowding problem. So I don't know how that's going to work out in the future. As it was when I first started, and I wasn't adding in males and balancing out the female populations, it was fine. You saw that, right? The crowding thing was down, and also I'm in sandbox, so that doesn't matter. But as far as challenge mode goes, that does matter. We can test out real quick. It may just be the size of the habitat. So if okay, I guess it doesn't really matter. So if I expand the size of the habitat, okay, so now this is a little bit bigger. It's now 4,000. See? That changed it. Now we're good. So that's something to keep in mind. Just the size of the habitat and how many you will have to do. But for right now, you can put Pistaco mongoliensis, only that species. There's 2 other species. They are not able to live in a desert environment. So they can live in here. They do not share another environment. I had to check my notes. They do not share another environment with Plateosaurus, so it's only the desert biome. You can have either Plateosaurus species with Pistachosaurus mongoliensis or Protoceratops, but the Pistachosaurus mongoliensis can only be in the same habitat with the other two if it is a desert biome. Okay? Protoceratops can also do a scrub environment as well as the desert. So we could have Protoceratops over here too in this habitat, although I have a big habitat where it's a mix of scrub and grassland, okay? But they could also exist in a scrubland habitat too. Okay, so that's this habitat. I don't think I missed anything. Okay, so in this habitat, like I said, I have grassland, and I have grassland stuff, scrub, and grassland. So I've got the pampas and stuff here. So, here we have both Brachiosaurus and Chimaerosaurus can live in Brachiosaurus, and all three species of Chimaerosaurus can live in the desert biome with our other friends, with our Plateosaurus and maybe other friends, depending on how big the exhibit is. Argentinosaurus cannot, can only live in scrubland, so that's important. Oh, I didn't even put them. Oh. Oh, that's why. Oh, because they need too much water. Okay, Argentinosaurus are not compatible. I had that right in my notes. But the other species, the other four species of sauropodomorphs are compatible with Plateosaurus, okay? Both in desert and scrubland. Got it. Another animal that can live in the scrub or the grassland with the Plateosaurus is the Cynotherium. Cynotherium, our beautiful rhino, different kind of rhino relative. So they can also live with them, and also Dryosaurus can live with them, but only, in the desert and the scrubland. I moved them from the desert habitat because it was too crowded. There's only two ornithopods who can live with them. It's Dryosaurus and Muttaburrasaurus, but Muttaburrasaurus can only live with the Plateosaurus gracilis, the smaller purple one, okay? Why is that? Well, that is because look at the forest requirement for Muttaburrasaurus. It's really high, 40 to 100%, okay? So gracilis has an overlap of 5% from 40 to 45, where they can live with them. The Trosingensis can only have a max of 30% forest, and then you're going to degrade their welfare, okay? So if you're not playing sandbox, if you're playing challenge mode, do not do that. I discounted some species where they had like a single percentage point of overlap. So like this Paraceratherium. They like the scrubland, so you could have on paper we could have a scrubland habitat with these Paracers in with the Plateosaurus, but because their lower limit is 45% for forest, and the upper limit of our Plateosaurus gracilis is 45%, because it shares that same percentage point, I discounted them because sometimes that goes red, and currently it doesn't impact the the welfare necessarily. It just shows up as red and it's like, you're on the edge. Alert, alert. And it's like, okay, it didn't really impact anything, but I don't know if that's going to change. So that's why I didn't include those animals that have the shared percentage points, right? That gives you an overall kind of like who you can pair with, who you can't pair with. I think what I'm going to do real quick. Okay, so you see... No, Nigel. So you see... this Chimaerosaurus has grassland habitat in the area, does not like that, and its welfare is impacted. We have a little gap here. I don't know if that's easy to see there. You can see it a little bit better there, that gap. So it's gone down a little bit, and because the... Oh, why? It says the habitat is fine. Interesting. So it's interesting the bars not all lining up. The forest is just on the edge. Okay, you could have a little more forest. Okay. So, yeah. Things like that. So that impacts welfare a little bit. It's still green. And I'm assuming because when it gets down too far, everyone here is fine. Even with the overcrowding. So I don't know if that's going to change or not. But okay. So see, I put way too much forest in. Or just a little too much. And it's gone down by like, 10 to 15%. The welfare. So it's still green. Now if I just keep doing that... Oh! Okay, so it goes by a set amount. So I don't know at what point, once we get the diseases and stuff, what that's going to, how that's going to impact that. But for now, in challenge mode, you might be fine. You might be fine doing a little bit overcrowding in an exhibit. Until then, though, until the time that we implement these other mechanics. Okay, so yeah, adorable animals all around. You can have these really cute little habitats where, you know, you've got multi-species habitats where you got all these cute little critters in there. Fuck, look at that, hopping around and being cute as fuck. And yeah, adorable. I love them. I want to keep going on and on about how I love them, but we're just gonna leave it there. So I hope that you enjoyed our little showcase of the Plateosaurus, and I hope that you stick around for more showcase stuff. And if you watched and you liked stuff or had any opinions about any of this, yeah, tell me in the comments. So yeah, thanks for watching, and bye.